Hey, I'm Chris. This is Darren, and this is Fan Art with Chris, Disney Fan Art. And this is the Renaissance age. This is the age that Disney's really known for this time. And it goes from, I believe, I'm not even for sure. I know it goes from The Little Mermaid to, is it Hunchback?
Yep.
I think so. So, what's been going on with you? Anything?
A lot of work, 56 hours a week. I was actually wanting to do two drawings for this since we postponed it, but so I was going to draw one from The Lion King, which is my second favorite besides Beauty and the Beast.
But you keep falling asleep when you get to home.
I think I fall asleep on the way home.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. Let me pull it up real quick. We only have 4. So. Is it up?
Yep, it's there.
And the first one is Christina's. And she did Pocahontas.
Yes, and the blue in that hair sets it off.
Yep. That's Pocahontas. Looks really good.
Yeah.
So.
I've caught on to Christina's trick.
Yeah.
Look at Pocahontas' hands.
You can't see them.
She has none. She cut them off on the papers.
Pocahontas has hands, so.
I know, but Christina doesn't like drawing hands.
Yeah, but the only way you can get good at it is if you do it.
Yeah, she's going to run out of options for long.
Yeah. You're going to have to learn how to draw hands.
Yeah.
I think it looks really good.
It does.
Yes. All right, we'll go to our next one. And this one's Darren's.
Yep, that's the one that took me 37 days, 14 hours, 12 minutes, and 19 seconds to complete.
Yeah.
Not really. But.
The only thing that's kind of funny about it is if you don't know what's going on, this doesn't look like a lip. It looks like might be a tongue that he's trying to shove between her teeth.
I know, right? Or like before I drew her, I'm thinking his lip looks like a cigar. Yeah.
No, it looks good. It looks really.
Him being a beast like he was.
Oh yeah.
If that was his time, man, he'd be bigger than her. He'd be able to lap her up like soup.
But yeah,
I actually really enjoyed doing that one.
The only problem is you cut her off at the waist.
That's actually where the picture ended.
Was it?
Yeah.
It went on down farther with the beast.
Well, because he's bigger.
No, okay.
But that actually ended both of them right there about to where it is now.
Right. I can't say anything about cutting them off. We haven't got to mine yet.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see who's next. Oh, this was sent in by Rachel. Her Ariel. Yeah. It's kind of got that. Is it? What am I thinking of? Almost like a Nickelodeon feeling to it.
Yeah, sure.
So I think it
like
looks really
starfish.
Good. Yeah,
that's what that reminds me of.
Yeah. So I mean, that's really reminds. It almost has the Fairly Odd Parents. Almost. Yeah, kind of feel to it. But I like it.
Generation of Little Mermaid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next one is mine.
That is pretty awesome.
So yeah,
that could almost be a tattoo.
Yeah, I did it in all marker.
Sweet. It looked really cool with a flame coming out of his mouth, I would think.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks cool now. It definitely could pass for the stick-on tattoos that you got from Bazooka Gum.
Yeah.
When we were kids. I like that. That's really cool.
But yeah, I did it all on marker. Obviously, you can see I drew most of it in pencil first. I tried drawing a marker. That didn't work out too well for me. Drawing it all.
Yeah, it's hard to color with marker, too. And you did really good because marker leaves a lot of lines.
Yeah, I got some up in here. Through here.
Oh, that could just be his hair,
Yeah.
his fur.
I don't think he has fur. He's a dragon.
He's a furry dragon. I think I'm gonna get that tattooed on my shoulder blade,
Oh
Chris.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I was gonna do the full thing, but I made his head too big.
No, I think it looks fine, just like
Yeah.
that.
But
What's he looking at?
I don't know.
The guy that's getting the tattoo of himself.
Yeah. You know who voiced him, right?
No, I do not.
It was Eddie Murphy.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, there's a guy at work that looks like he could pass for Eddie Murphy for real.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But well, I do have. Oh, hey, Rachel. Yes, I just put it up.
Yeah, it was nice. Ariel.
Hey, Christina. Christina says, "Stop telling my secrets." Next week's era is going to be the post-Renaissance era.
We all have secrets. Hold on, let me get out of this chat. If it kicks me out, I'll be right straight back. Nope, I didn't. I hit the right button this time.
All right.
Yeah, I was going to do one with Mufasa up on the rock from Lion King that looks really cool.
Mufasa.
And I just honestly, working these long hours, I get home and I'm so doggone tired, I can't even hardly hold my head up.
Yeah. So I have some stuff to share for the Renaissance. Sir. All right. It is every Disney Renaissance movie ranked by Rotten Tomatoes score. Yeah, we'll get to that here in a little bit, Rachel.
I think Hunchback would have been last from what I was reading. Like,
it's not.
Really?
Number 10's Pocahontas. Its score was 56%.
Wow.
Yeah, it says the only real controversy of the Disney Renaissance period, as reflected by its polarized score in 1995, Pocahontas was certainly a disappointment compared to the incredible success of The Lion King from the previous year. It still contained a number of the distinct qualities that made every other film on this list as beloved as they are, though the music of Renaissance period's real MVP, Alan Menken, for instance, Menken would win the film two Oscars for the score and the composition for the original song, Colors of the Wind. So,
and I thought Pocahontas was actually fairly popular with the, especially like the.
Well, here's the thing.
Female.
I don't know if this is the score coming from the public, or is this coming from critics? You know what I mean? They have two scores. All right, so number 9, The Rescuers Down Under, which I would have put Pocahontas at least before this one, but on Rotten Tomatoes, this got a 69%. Well, still a classic to many of the 1990s, The Rescuers Down Under is the least famous of the Renaissance films, despite it being a significant milestone for Disney. It was not only the company's first animated sequel to be released theatrically, it was the first film ever to be entirely created through digital means, not using a camera at all. It was also, unfortunately, the least financially successful of the Renaissance films. This has no doubt aided in its push into the relative obscurity. So, I don't even know if I've ever even seen that movie.
I've seen it once.
I've seen The Rescuers, but I don't know if I've ever seen The Rescuers Down Under.
Yeah.
So number 8 is The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And its score on Rotten Tomatoes was 71%.
Oh, excuse me, people.
A similar financial success to the previous year's effort, Pocahontas, The Hunchback of Notre Dame was a far less controversial entry into the Renaissance pantheon, despite being one of Disney's animation's darker films.
I read some stuff that on Hunchback, how it wasn't as big of a hit as they wanted it to be.
No, it wasn't. And they actually had some big names in there, too.
Yeah.
Songwriter Stephen Schwartz teamed again with composer Alan Menken, and backed by some of the era's most impressive animations, created a number of memorable moments. The two are slated to return in their respective roles for Disney's proposed live-action remake starring Josh Gad. So I wonder if Josh Gad is going to play Quasimodo.
Hmm.
All right, number 7. Do you want to take a guess?
Let me see. Aladdin.
It's Hercules
Hercules.
at
Yeah,
84%.
Aladdin would have went way.
84%. A comparative oddity among the Renaissance films, 1997's Hercules dialed up the use of anachronism in its story, no doubt as the result of the success of director Ron Clement and John Musker's previous Renaissance film, Aladdin, and the result is quite a unique film. Menken returns once again, but for a score that veered off more dramatically into the contemporary style like gospel and blues. Number 6. It's Mulan with 86%.
Mulan. They just remade that, didn't they?
They haven't put it out yet.
But it's like, isn't it? It's not like really cartoonish though, is it? It's like actual humans playing.
Yeah. It hasn't come out yet. Yeah. Another adaptation of an ancient cultural legend, Mulan, suffered in the story narrative China. This was partially due to a reaction to westernized elements. Though it did eventually receive a release in China with Jackie Chan to boot, its profits were minimal. Still, that didn't change the film's success in the West. With hopefully Disney will do better next time around with Nick Carraro upcoming live-action remake. So there we go. Number 5 is Tarzan at 89%. The final film in the Renaissance took things out on a good note, though it was the second Renaissance film in a row after Mulan to not feature Alan Menken as composer. Mark Messina scores with songwriter Phil Collins is still hugely memorable. Collins' You'll Be in My Heart won Best Original Song at the Oscars. So, I don't know, maybe Hercules was the last one for the Renaissance.
Maybe.
So, number 4, which is the first movie in the Renaissance, The Little Mermaid, at 93%. The first of Renaissance releases and still one of the company's most iconic titles. It was the first film that director John Musker and Ron Clement were paired up with without co-directors, and it began a lengthy career as a double act with hits in 4 different decades. So yeah, I mean, I think The Little Mermaid is the movie that drew everybody back to Disney. You know what I mean? After the Dark Age, yeah, I think it really is. Even though there were good movies from Disney in the Dark Age. I like The Great Mouse Detective and Oliver and Company, but all right, number 3 is The Lion King, sitting at a tie with Little Mermaid at 93%. But from more reviewers, the most of any of the Renaissance film, it's the period's crowning achievement. It's not without its controversy, the most persistent being its striking similarities but its cultural impact is absolutely undeniable, with Jon Favreau's remake quickly becoming both the highest grossing of the Renaissance remakes so far and one Disney's highest grossing film ever, to say nothing of the movie's record-breaking achievements from home video sales and the stage adaptation.
I absolutely love the one that they just remade with the real animals.
Yeah, that's the Jon Favreau one.
Yeah, that is super awesome. My mom, she had told me she went and seen that at the drive-in in Winchester when it came out, and she had her dog.
Yeah.
And every time them lions would roar or an animal would make noise on that movie, she said Daisy would just like Daisy's was like a little pug, or
Right.
like one of them little small dogs, but she sounded like a big old pit bull trying to attack somebody whenever she'd hear that. My mom said it was the funniest thing you ever heard.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So number 2 is Aladdin at 94%. The second collaboration between John Musker and Ron Clement as a directing duo recaptures the magic of The Little Mermaid in every way. Naturally, composer Alan Menken returned with an even greater repertoire of hits, a number of them being the last works of longtime collaborator and lyricist Howard Ashman, who had died before the film's completion. Guy Ritchie's recent remake squashed doubts to become a billion-dollar hit for Disney, with Will Smith tastefully living up to the immense legacy of Robin Williams' original voice performance. So that was the live action for that one. And then number 1,
my fave, Beauty and the Beast.
At 94%. It's actually tied, but there were probably more people. Another tie sharing 94% with Aladdin, but with far more reviews. Beauty and the Beast cements the Renaissance as a major movement within not just Disney, but animation as a whole. It was both the first animated film to win the Golden Globe Award for Best Picture, Musical, or Comedy, and the first animated film to be nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. It didn't win, but it continued the streak of wins for Alan Menken and Howard Ashman, who sadly died before the film's completion and to whom it was posthumously dedicated. So
that movie's classic. They need to remake it.
What's that?
Beauty and the Beast.
They did. They did a live action of Beauty and the Beast.
They don't laugh at me. Well, yeah, I'll have to find it and watch it.
What's her name? Emma Watson. She played Belle.
Oh.
You know? Yeah. And then Ewan McGregor was Lemire.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, you know, all those years driving a truck, I didn't have much time for movies. So.
Right.
Yeah,
it is. That's right. It is Texas Takes. It is. You know what? Almost every single movie we just talked about in the Renaissance, I think they all had great scores. Tell you the truth, every single one of them had a memorable song, everything like that. But to me, I think probably the best song that came out of all the Renaissance eras comes from Pocahontas, which ranked 10 on that list. I think Colors of the Wind is by hands better than every song put out. And the thing is one of my favorite songs comes from another one that was far down the list, which was Hunchback, which I think out there is a really great song too.
Yeah, I can see Disney, when they actually did Hunchback, from what I was reading, they thought it was going to be a super big hit. And they actually wanted it to.
Well, I mean, you had Mel Gibson as a voice. You had Demi Moore as a voice. I mean, why wouldn't you think that it was going to be a hit?
And that's where they were trying to lead, was like make it like the front runner of the Renaissance era.
Right.
But then for whatever reason, it just like it fell through.
Right. Well, from what I understand,
and like Aladdin wasn't even, didn't even intend for Aladdin to be as big as it had become.
Right. Right. From what I understand, The Lion King was just another telling of Hamlet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, every single one of them had great songs. There's no doubt in that. I mean, The Rescuers Down Under, I don't think there was any songs in it. If there was, I don't remember it. Like I said, I don't even remember if I've ever seen that movie. Like I said, I've seen The Rescuers, but I don't remember seeing The Rescuers Down Under.
Since that's one of your favorite songs that you mentioned, I think you and Gonzo should sing that this week.
I don't think so. It'll probably come up, so because that's what we're doing is Disney again.
I'll send him a message. Say Chris wants to sing "Color in the Wind."
I'm sure it'll come up. So I know we're supposed to have it's me, Gonzo, Viapre Project, and probably Kelly again. I don't know if VP will be back on again, but
oh Lord, we'll have to open up our windows so they don't break.
That's why I told Christina, I said, if Darren's asleep, put your put the head up to his ear, he'll wake up. She said you were on the PS4.
Sometimes she thinks I'm on the PS4, but I'm in her sleeping in the chair.
All right. Well, so let's get on for next week's. So next week is the post-Renaissance. And let me pull those up. All right. So the post-Renaissance movies are Emperor's New Groove. Did we already do that one? We already did the post-Renaissance, didn't we?
Didn't we start with that? And then after that, we decided to go in order.
I think we did. Did we go all the way through them already?
Which ones were they? Say them again.
The Emperor's New Groove, Home on the Range, Bolt, Brother Bear, Chicken Little, Dinosaur, Fantasia, Lilo and Stitch, Atlantis, Meet the Robinsons, and Treasure Planet. Maybe we didn't.
I don't remember having to pick from all those. But Emperor's New Groove is ringing a bell for some reason. Did we just
I drew the llama.
That?
I think we did. I think we only focused on that. Yeah. So
we can still do post-Renaissance because now we have the other ones to pick from.
Right.
And you just picked that movie
Yeah,
I think we did. I think we just drew from that movie. If I'm
right,
right.
we did. Yeah, I remember now. I could definitely go over and get my binder out.
But I'm pretty sure that's what we did.
What did I draw?
So I don't know.
Yes, we did because I remember now.
Yeah, I know because
you're right because you did the llama. Yes,
I did the llama. Yeah,
and I did. I don't even remember what I did. I have to look.
I did this for the one before though. So.
Yes, that dog is awesome. That is Frank's buddy.
No, it isn't. It's Dodger.
I'm gonna take Frank to the ballpark and get him a hot dog.
Frank's a little skittish, more than what you would know.
Because that's why his name's Frank, because he likes to go to the ballpark and get hot dogs.
His name is Frank because when he was a puppy, I used to stand him up and make him dance to Frank Sinatra songs.
Ballpark Frank. Let's see here.
Oh, but I think that's probably gonna do it. I know it was short. We got them all completely done.
Yeah,
and we did top 10. So,
post-Renaissance, that would be it.
What are you looking for? Your binder?
Yeah.
Yeah. You drew Pacha. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did
I'll
that.
let you see it. Yep.
Yeah, and Christina, she did Yzma as a kitten, didn't she?
Yes.
Yes. So
when I die, those might be worth
I just read them off,
cents.
Rachel. I just read them off.
If you don't remember, just like me, a lot of times I don't remember the whole list of movies, so I just Google it. Just Disney.
Be Disney post-Renaissance era.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll read them one more time.
And there's ones that sometimes I'm like, and I like to draw this and this and this, and I have to pick because I'm like, I don't have time to draw all of these.
Right. It's Emperor's New Groove, Home on the Range, Bolt, Brother Bear, Chicken Little, Dinosaur, Fantasia 2000, Lilo and Stitch, Atlantis, The Lost Empire, Meet the Robinsons, and Treasure Planet. I remember I watched a lot of those in Iraq.
While your candy was getting eaten, while you were sleeping.
Hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched a lot of those when I was in Iraq. When I was in Iraq, they had at one of the I don't know how to call one of those shops what we used to call them without upsetting someone.
Yeah, probably shouldn't. Probably shouldn't. People are pretty sensitive nowadays.
But they had this box that said they had every Disney movie in it, right? Mm-hmm. I'm like, wow, that's a pretty big box. I mean, I know Disney had a lot, but this is really big. And I thought maybe it's got the live action movies in there too. I got in there, and obviously they think anything that was animated was done by Disney, because Beavis and Butthead Does America was on there. What was that one with the puppets? That was done by the guys from that was on there. Yeah, it was like I think that's what it was. They just think Disney is the only people who animate anything. And I think Anastasia was on there, and that's not a Disney. Mm-hmm. And stuff like that. And I was like, okay, but I mean, at least they had them on there. So I watched like Atlantis, The Lost Empire, and I watched Treasure Planet and all those. Why was in Iraq? If they could have had
SpongeBob, they would have had that sucker on there too.
It probably would have been, but I mean, these were movies. They didn't have any like episodes, so they had like the Beavis and Butthead movie. They didn't have.
But of course, they got a lot of sand up their nose, so it kind of probably made their mind think other things.
No, yeah. These people were Turkish that was down there working in we did have a place. That's what I understand. So our base was about 20 miles the perimeter, right? And so you got this great big area, and over here's Cantonment, right? Then you have the airfield through here, right? And then over here you have really nothing but one little shop that sat out there. And we called it the 7-Eleven. Do you know why we called it the 7-Eleven?
Go over and get Slurpees.
No, because they opened at 7 and closed at 11. That's why we called it the 7-Eleven.
And then all the kids playing
Mike
soccer.
Willer. So, but yeah.
Soccer's a big thing over there for them kids. They loved it.
Right. Well, over there in Iraq, you didn't really see much soccer. So, but there was grass where I was. I mean, not a lot of it. There was grass. It looked, people think, well, the desert. It's like what they think of is, I don't know what part of Iraq you were in. All right. I was in the northern part. So, I mean, what Kuwait was like is what I think people think a desert is like.
Yeah, a lot of there's trees,
like powder,
sagebrush,
but like that powder thin sand, they had that in Kuwait. Now, when you get up into Iraq, like way up north where I was north of Tikrit, and it's like just like what a field looks like, if it hadn't been plowed or planted in a long time. No grass. I mean, you see grass every once in a while, but it was like patches. But I know when you got even farther north, when you got farther north, and when you got farther north, up where the Kurdish lived, there were areas that looked like here.
Yeah.
So, and once you got up there where, like in the Kurdish villages, you didn't have to wear your body armor or anything because they protected you.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's just like here. And try to explain it to people that, you take, for example, like living out west. We lived in the high desert. There were still trees and grass and sagebrush. And, you get down, you have your high deserts and you have your low.
Yeah.
Your lows are damn near all sand, but you get up in the high desert and you get into some greenery. California is the same way, Nevada, Utah, but
right. Plus, I don't think anybody understands what the term desert means, because a desert doesn't mean that. It means it's a desolated, hard area for anything to live.
Yes.
So, like over in Siberia, even though it's covered in snow, that is considered a desert.
Right.
So, but I think we're gonna wrap it up, Darren. I think we're kind of getting off the subject here, but
we're getting into military stuff now. Yeah.
So, getting on to next week, like I said, the post-Renaissance era. So, anybody who wants to, draw something or create a craft or anything, you can send it in. I'll put the banner up real quick to that email address down below. Have it in about 4:00 on Tuesday, and we'll put it up that night and we'll take a look. So the only reason why I moved today's back was because we're doing hanging with the family on Friday.
Yeah.
So because we had to move it because of our guests, they only have certain times off. So we moved it to Friday. But the next week, if you want to come on with us, Darren, we're going to play a game.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to play, I think it's called Pictopia. And it's a Disney edition. So I'm going to have to use 2 cameras for it. So
I'll just come over.
You can't just come over.
I'll just come over.
Margie isn't even on the same camera with me when she's on there. All right. So I think that's going to do it.
Yep.
All right. And we will see you next week on Tuesday at 7 o'clock for Disney fan art with Chris and Darren. And make sure you have that in by 4 o'clock. And we'll see you later.
By
Thanks.
4.